You are never too old to be successful. In fact, the older the better. The hyena can easily kill the cub, but once it becomes a lion, they cannot stand the same ground.
You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombox. You know my doctor? Figured the way I saw him last week, I told him, Doc, every day I wake up, I look in the mirror, I want to throw up. What's wrong with me? He said, I don't know, but your eyesight is perfect.
Dangerfield lived as a cub amongst hyenas, just to grow up and conquer the whole world. No one would wish his childhood experience on anyone, not even their worst enemy. His suffering makes you think that there is no God, and if there is, was he asleep through this great man's childhood?
At 15, I was writing jokes.
Right.
To escape from reality.
Yeah. Because reality was bad?
Terrible.
It is astonishing how such a famous man had a life so little known. Join us as we dive in deep and reveal what's beyond the curtains, the story of Rodney Dangerfield.
Last week was a rough week. Are you kidding? I saw my psychiatrist. I told him, Doc, I keep thinking I'm ugly. He told me to lay on the couch, face down. You kid, I know I'm ugly. I asked the bartender to make me a zombie. Told me God beat him to it. I stuck my head out the window, got arrested for mooning. You know when you're ugly, all right. On Halloween, I opened the front door, kids give me candy. I was an ugly kid, too. I told my old man, he never took me to the zoo. He said, if they want you, they'll come and get you. Very ugly kid. In my sandbox, a cat kept covering me up all the time, you know? For Halloween, we never had a pumpkin. It made me stand in the window. What a... good-looking guys, too. A few gay boys, I noticed in the audience. I like gay guys. I wish more guys were gay. In fact, my perfect world, every man should be gay, except me. Would I be a busy fellow? Now, there's no gay in me at all. The idea of me making love to a guy turns me off. Never happened. Never happened. Maybe Tom Cruise. I don't know. Oh, he's a sexy guy, Tom Cruise. You have no idea how sexy he is, boy. Tom Cruise is so sexy. When he jerks off, the girl he's thinking of comes.
When Rodney said, man, I don't get no respect. I don't get no respect at all.
No respect. I don't get no respect at all. Are you kidding? Nothing. No respect at all.
This was not only an act, but a subconscious unveiling of his reality. But the lack of respect he got was a blessing in disguise. Though Dangerfield is long gone, everybody remembers this phrase. These two lines summarizes his whole persona, a goofy and silly guy who has the worst life ever, in a good way, of course. The worst life ever in a good way, even though it doesn't make sense. Those who know Rodney know exactly what we are talking about. These are some of his masterpieces. Man, I was an ugly kid. When I was born, the doctor told my mom I did all I could, but he put through anyway. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. Man, when I was young, I was so ugly. So ugly, my mother breastfed me through a straw. These are jokes, alright, but the way his mother treated him makes Hitler look like Mother Teresa. Rodney never got any love as a kid. His mother didn't give him a single kiss, a single hug, nor even a slight show of affection. He had no one looking out for him, just like his mother wanted to get rid of him. His father abandoned the family exactly after his birth. Dangerfield had to work from the age of 12, selling ice cream, delivering groceries, taking care of a newsstand, and other jobs to support his family. His mother also convinced him to save money for a football uniform, just to steal that same money. Your mother, a horrible person. Horrible. I mean, have you ever asked her why she wouldn't kiss you or hug you? Those are the words of Howard on an interview with Rodney. Without any supervision, he was child molested. A man gave him a nickel to kiss him for 5 minutes every day. He says he doesn't remember how long this went for. It might have been months, weeks, or even years. From a psychological view, not remembering how things ended could be a defense mechanism by his mind to close out the trauma of a situation that became unbearable. It is without doubt that this situation left him with PTSD. Dangerfield later said his mother was so horrible that he actually forgave his father for abandoning him. Moreover, throughout the whole year, he only saw his father for only 2 hours. Yes, exactly 2 hours. What lies behind the stage curtain is a mystery. The audience only sees the smiles. Spare us the labor, we only wanna see the baby. That's what they all silently say. The story of Rodney is a hard pill to swallow. In his own words, he says he's a perfectionist, and this led to a long and hard life of depression. He moved from psychiatrist to psychiatrist, but his depression was a blessing in disguise. Truly, the line between crazy and genius is a thin one. If Rodney was not a comedy genius, he would have been dead or completely out of his mind. Comedy was engraved in his heart. At the age of 15, he was writing jokes for stand-up comedians. But honestly, he knew that this wasn't working for him. To earn some money, he worked as a singer. Because of the little he made, he had to wait tables afterwards. And unfortunately, he got fired from this same job. He struggled financially, and this seemed as the end. His dreams and aspiration to be in showbiz were shattered. He was forced into calling it a day. He gave up. He even jokes about the fact that he was so little known that when he quit, he was the only one who knew that he quit. He became just a regular Joe, working as a salesman, selling aluminium sliding. But the scar of comedy engraved in his heart never ceased to bother him. It burned, but there was little he could do. He had to provide for his family, his wife and 2 children. Battling with depression and working a job that he completely loathed, he decided to write jokes just for fun, just to find comfort in this hell called life. For 10 years, all he did was just write jokes and work a job that he knew wasn't for him. A whole 10 years. I guess there is some truth to the expression, slow and steady wins the race. In the late 1960s, the beast inside him awakened, salesman by day, comedian by night. We witnessed this signature move. Man, I don't get no respect. I don't get no respect at all. This is what attracted all the fame and money, because this was so relevant to the people.
Then your trademark, the no respect, Rodney. How did that originate?
Well, I came back in show business in the early 40s, and I started doing a character where nothing goes right, and I wasn't saying no respect then. I was just saying nothing goes right. I can't take it no more, and life is caving in, and everything was wrong. And then I wrote a joke. I don't get no respect, I said. For joke was I played hide and seek. They wouldn't even look for me. And when you write a joke, you have to write an intro to it of some kind. So I wrote an intro of I don't get no respect. And I wrote that, and it fit that joke. And then I did the joke, and then people seemed to identify with it. And they said, me too, no respect. And so then I started using that as a handle and everything. I don't get no respect. And then everyone seemed to identify it. I guess nobody gets respect in life. There's always something goes wrong. You feel you're mistreated during the day, or some guy cut you off in traffic, some boss picked on you, you feel got treated right. And that's the whole idea of it all. Everyone can identify with it, I guess.
People just get it, because subconsciously, everyone feels that they don't get no respect. This was so relevant that even the most eloquent president, Ronald Reagan, used it in one of his speeches, saying, just like Rodney Dangerfield, I don't get no respect, I don't get no respect at all. Joe Rogan and Todd Glass spoke about the fact that Dangerfield exercised perfect timing. The way he moved was like everything was planned to the millisecond. He would look there and there, adjust his tie, make this face, and harmonize everything with his tone. His words will flow with the mood and movement just like a 90s hip-hop rapper. He made his breakthrough when he performed on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was just a mere last resort when there was a space that had to be filled. To the surprise of everyone, his first performance killed it. He left the audience in tears with achy stomachs from laughing. This was when the Ed Sullivan Show was tremendously popular. Some of the people Dangerfield worked for will get surprised as they saw the man who installed the aluminium sliding on TV. They would ask, is that you on TV? And Dangerfield will say, oh, that's just a side thing I work on. A side? That's Ed Sullivan, man. Are you crazy? They would react.
So I sold people a job, say that Saturday. Sunday, they're watching Ed Sullivan, and they see me walk out on Ed Sullivan under a different name.
Wow.
My name, Jack Roy, the real name, so I'm siding. Then they see Rodney Dangerfield. So she says to the mechanic, is Mr. Roy also in show business?
Yeah.
He says, yeah, he's just setting aside,
Wow.
On the side, Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, Ed Sullivan's the side gig.
It's a side
So
to
even when you were back doing Ed Sullivan, you were still selling the aluminum siding, and people would tune in and see their aluminum siding guy on Ed Sullivan.
That's right.
That had to be
amazing.
That had to be
Weird,
amazing.
isn't it weird?
At this time, he was about 50 years old, but this was just the start of his career. When we talk about legacy, there's no other comedian like Dangerfield. This man is a father, which is ironical because he never had a father. Who are his children? Jim Carrey, Jerry Seinfeld, Adam Sandler, and Rosanna Barr. These names would be complete gibberish if it wasn't for Dangerfield. Rodney opened a comedy club in Manhattan to be closer to his children. This club instantly became a success, as it was Rodney himself who allowed comedians like Jim Carrey, Jerry Seinfeld, and Adam Sandler to perform before anybody knew them. He said, hey, if someone is funny, why not give him a stage and let him do his thing? He had the keenest eye for talent. He became very close to Jim Carrey. That's a good kid, he will say. Jim Carrey also claims that he was the only one who was able to make him show slight signs of life when Rodney was on his deathbed. As a perfectionist, depression was that one hump on his back that he couldn't quite get rid of, even with all his fame and money. But he said that the stage was his temporary cure, seeing the laughter that would make him happy, just for a second. You think I would be happy if I was just sitting around, Howard? With his declining health, Rodney kept working. He kept doing stand-up and also released his autobiography, It's Not Easy Being Me, a life of no respect but plenty of sex and drugs. His lifelong abuse of alcohol and weed were not doing him any favors. He underwent double bypass surgery in 2000. Thereafter, he had to have another surgery, which is a pig replacement of the heart valve. But before this surgery, he said his doctor called and told him he had to have brain surgery before the heart surgery. After his brain surgery, he appeared on the Howard Show and he told Howard that his ideal death would be under surgery because he wouldn't know that he's dead. No pain, no nothing. And in 2004, he died in that exact way due to heart surgery complications.